price your products more aggressively at the beginning. So when you first launch on Amazon, something we say is generally, you're starting off with 0 reviews, whereas other people might have 20 reviews. So you've got to start somewhere, right? So when you first get launched on Amazon, price aggressively, which means, you're not selling at half price, but just price it below your competitors, because you can't sell it at par with your competitors because they've got reviews you don't, right? So we generally say just discount your price just a little bit through a coupon, usually. 5-10% off is usually what we say. Just to get a few reviews in. And once you've still got a few reviews in, then you increase the price. We had a lady that was selling these acupressure mats many years back, right? Has anyone seen those acupressure mats before? They're spiky mats. They're really like, you walk on them and they're actually quite painful. But you know acupuncture, where they put the needles on you? So what these are, they're like mats that you lay on. And you don't wear a shirt, you just wear underwear and you lay on it, but it's got spikes in it. And what it does, it brings blood to the surface of your skin. And it improves circulation and helps with heart function, it helps with all these other things as well. But when she launched these, there was only like 3 people selling them. There's a few more now, but not too many. But it's a very small product, very lightweight. She started off at around about, I think it's like $80, which is actually quite good. And she got a few reviews in. I said, great, you got a few reviews in. Let's increase your price. Now that you've got a few reviews in, let's just incrementally, just $2 a day, $2, $3-4 a week, just bump it up. Just sort of see if that affects your sales. So she did. She just kept on increasing the price. She increased it like $110 or something. And she noticed at the she kept increasing from $80. There's no difference in sales. So she was just making more profit, right? Because she was increasing the price. But she found it there was a sweet spot. It was like 110 or something up there, where the sales started stagnating. There was no growth. Like so she goes, all right, well, 110. So she settled on a little bit lower than that. That makes sense, though, doesn't it? Because you don't dictate what you sell your product for. The market dictates it. It's what your customers are willing to pay for it. So you might think, some people are a little bit like, I don't know whether I would pay $20 for a knife sharpener. Like you might, if you don't have knives, then of course you're not going to buy a knife sharpener, right? But there's people out there that will buy that product, so they would dictate it. So if you don't think your product's worth what it is, just see what it sells on Amazon and just try it out, test it, test the prices, because it's your customers that decide whether or not they want to buy your product. So brand, package. So other things you can do to accelerate your growth is your brand and package. We don't generally say do this initially. Don't spend time and effort and money putting your brand on packaging. It's not really worth it. A lot of people, when they first get started, basically want to put their brand on everything, right? People don't really care about the brand. They care about, does the product work? Does the knife sharpener work? If you have your logo and your face on the knife sharpener, is it going to sell more units? Probably not, right? Will it impress your friends and your family and your mum? Yeah. But will it sell more units, which is more important? No. So don't go ahead with branding. Sell 50 units first, sell 100 units first, then go, all right, now let's focus on the branding a little bit later on. Choose Australian. So you can buy from Australia as well. That's another thing. So choose local. It's as easy as going down to the markets. It's as easy as going into, there's a wholesale websites in Australia. If you're not familiar with that, there's a lot of wholesale websites here. You just go there, you contact supplier, you can buy Australian, sell Australian if you want. Where I live in Sydney, there's markets just across the road. And you can go there and you can meet suppliers, people that make their own products, and you can do business and list their products on Amazon. You can actually do that. If you make your own product, I know Matt makes his own product at the back there. We had another client actually in Melbourne. They made their own beanies. They had a machine that actually manufactured beanies. It was like this big or something, and it knitted beanies in merino wool, like really good quality wool. And it took you click a button, and they explained it to me, it was miraculous. They click a button and then just leave it for an hour, and a beanie pops out, and they do scarves and everything. I was like, that's amazing. It's like, that movie Chicken Run, you click a button and you put the chickens in and chicken pies come out, right? It was, that's how I was thinking, like how this machine worked, right? I was like, wow, it's Chicken Run. But it was quite incredible, and they wanted to sell those on Amazon USA and Canada, because it's always cold up there, right? But it doesn't have to be China. You can sell Aussie stuff if you want, or stuff from New Zealand, like a lot of people do choose New Zealand wool-based products as well. Other ways to accelerate, you pay for professional listing, keywords, product descriptions, they increase your conversions, get quality photos. I mean, these are all things. I'll show you today how to take your own photos. Usually you can these days if you have a smartphone. You can take your own photos if you want. But in most cases, you will use the supply. The supply will give you a high definition photo. That's usually good enough for photography. So if you think you have to go, I usually have a light box. Has anyone heard of a light box before? They're like little boxes you buy and you put a light and it's all white and you put your product in and you take a photo. Like I used to have one and I used to carry them with me. I've got like 3 of them at home, right? They're really good, but they're not needed. Like I've used it like 3 or 4 times, and then after that, I don't need them because I use the supply of photos in most cases. So if you think you need a professional photographer, you don't. There's a lady on the Gold Coast here. She charges $2,750 plus GST to take 7 photos for you. Just to take photos, 7 photos. And I don't even know whether they're graphics you can use, but I know that she takes 7 photos, right? You don't need that. You don't need professional photography. If you want to list 10 products, just imagine what that would cost, right? Just in photography, right? That's not even buying the product. So in most cases, suppliers make it really easy for you. They supply a nice little image for you because they want to obviously make it very easy for you to buy from them, right? So they do a bit of work for you. All right. The number 1 secret to success that all successful people have is this: a winning attitude and an unshakable desire for success.